Hello and welcome to Post to Post, the channel where we discuss all things hockey and all teams. A couple nights ago, the Calgary Flames were eliminated by the Anaheim Ducks. Did you get a chance to watch that at all?
I watched some of it. Unfortunately, this is one of those series that I didn't watch as in-depth as others because being on the East Coast, man, it's not so easy to catch all the Western games. I need sleep too.
Yeah, definitely.
Unfortunately.
And I feel really bad for Calgary fans because, you know, like I said in previous videos, they have some of the best fans in the league. That building is always so loud and so rocking. And they were silenced by the Anaheim Ducks. And we're just going to discuss the reasons as to why this happened. Why was Calgary eliminated? And more importantly, why were they eliminated in 4 games straight? So it's an unfortunate situation, but that's life, I guess. And so those things happen, and you can't predict them. I don't think I would have predicted Calgary going 0-4.
No, I would have never predicted that in a million years. In fact, I wanted Calgary to move on.
Yeah,
I was hoping for that, Battle of Alberta in the second round. That would have been amazing, in my opinion. But unfortunately, not going to happen.
No, I'm on the fence here because I picked Anaheim to win the Cup. So I'm glad they won. So my prediction's right, but I wanted Calgary in my heart to win. So good and bad for me, I guess. So let's just talk about goaltending first.
Right.
And in Calgary, do you think Elliott was the problem in the series?
I don't think Elliott could be 100% to blame for them going out the way that they did. I think it was a bit of an issue. I don't think goaltending was as good as it needed to be in order to have success in the playoffs. However, I don't think he should shoulder all the blame by any means, but definitely a little bit, unfortunately.
Yeah, he let in some soft goals, specifically in Game 3. They were up 4-1, and there was one goal in particular that should have never happened. And I think that goal was all Anaheim needed. And after that, they got a few more. They ended up winning that game. And maybe we disagree a little bit because I think most of the blame does go on Elliott. Although I do believe he played well. I think he has to be the most to blame because he wasn't solid. And one thing I went to do before we started this video is to get his numbers so I could see, save percentage and goals against, but I just forgot. So I apologize for that. But I feel bad for him at the same time because he left the ice in that last game after being pulled after 1 goal within 5 minutes of the game. And, the guy must feel absolutely terrible about himself. He let down his team in a way. And Johnson, when he had to play in Elliott's absence, he played okay. He wasn't amazing. And on the other side, on Anaheim's side, Gibson was absolutely outstanding. And he did get pulled 1 game, but he played really, really well. Did you Did you get to see when he was pulled and Bernier played? Were you able to watch that game? Or?
No, I wasn't watching that game, but I did see all the highlights.
Yeah, and I'm pretty confident with Anaheim's goaltending going forward into the second round.
Yeah, they really have a good duo there, in my opinion. And
I think another reason Calgary was in some trouble was their penalties. They took some costly penalties, and Johnny Gaudreau was pretty much invisible the entire series. Tkachuk was invisible pretty much the entire series. Versteeg played absolutely amazing. He was one of the most clutch players in the. Even though they lost every game, he was he had clutch goals. Monahan played great. I thought Hamilton struggled at times, but there were moments where he looked brilliant. Any other players that you particularly?
Well, I'm not going to call those players specifically, but what I will say is I found that a lot of their younger stars didn't quite step up to where they needed to be. I thought that was a bit of an issue, and it can kind of go to overall experience of the team. They do have some experienced guys, but they have a lot of guys that aren't as experienced, that's for sure. You look at the game in particular where they had Anaheim 4-1, right? Yeah. That's the showcase of an experienced team playing a more non-experienced team. If they're able to come back and win that game, that spoke volumes right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I said in a previous video too that if Anaheim wanted to have success, they'd have to have their 2 stars going on all cylinders, and that would be Getzlaf and Perry. And to me, Getzlaf and Perry looked great.
Yeah, they did
in these 4 games. So that was crucial for them to have success. So I really think an experience factor here was a big reason why the Flames were unfortunately upset in 4.
Who did you predict to win the series before it started?
I actually contemplated this one for a long time, because in my heart, like you say, I wanted Calgary to win, but then at the other side I'm thinking, well, experience factor and so on, I went with Anaheim.
Yeah. Well, at least our bracket challenge worked out there. So.
Yeah, for now.
For now,
because there's been a lot of things in the playoffs already this year I would have never predicted.
Yes.
In a million years. No way.
Absolutely. It's been crazy. So any final thoughts on the series, or can we pretty much wrap it up here? I will admit that this is the series that I watched the least, probably, much as
yeah, I'm really bummed out, because I really like what Calgary has built over the last few years. They have some phenomenal young talent right now in their organization, and to see them flourish and go further in the playoffs, I think it would have been a win for all of hockey fans, because they have a lot of exciting players right now that can just really turn it up and really zone you in as a viewer, because they're just amazing. But man, to see them go 4 straight, geez, that's a tough one to swallow. And Calgary to me was one of the biggest surprises this year in the West. They did so well, and for a while it looked like they might even win the division because they were just flying for quite some time. It's just very unfortunate, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of finger pointing, there's going to be a lot of questions, but to me, you still look at them on paper and they have a really solid lineup. So I don't think it's any means to hit the panic button or anything like that, because look at the first year the Penguins made the playoffs with Crosby. Ottawa beat them 4 straight. So
yeah, it's no reason to panic.
No.
Their lineup will change, but not drastically.
No.
I guess one thing I forgot to mention is I read some comments online of people saying, "Oh, Anaheim was just lucky that they won," or the NHL wanted Anaheim to win, and the refs helped Anaheim win. How do you feel about statements like those?
The butthurt runs deep.
Yeah,
there's a lot of people that just can't deal with a loss like that. But to fully blame the refs, I never ever bought that. Ever. I mean, you could always blame the refs on maybe a bad call.
Yeah, there's moments.
But blame the refs for a full series, that's a stretch.
There's moments where there's questionable calls, and on both sides, on both sides in all teams. So you can't really blame it like that. I mean, you'll get calls going your way, and then you'll get calls against you.
Yeah,
so
they always try to even it up.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. I guess that wraps it up. This is probably the series that we have the least to say about. So.
It's the downside of living on the East Coast.
Yeah, these games are on so late.
Yeah, they're on insanely late. Sometimes they would only start at 11:30 our time, and I'm the guy who gets up at 4:30 a.m. for work. So it is tough to watch some of these games, but I try to get in as much as possible. Yeah, definitely. So we're going to do a video on each of these series. So whoever eliminates who. So as of right now, Nashville's eliminated Chicago. Yeah. And Pittsburgh has eliminated Columbus. Mm-hmm. So we'll be doing those videos next, and so on until all the first round is done. So definitely check out those in the future. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hope you hit the subscribe button so you can see those. If you like the video, hit the like button. And until the next video, adios. And until the next video, adios. That was great.